So what we will try number of points which we gathered today we will be talking on, and then if required we'll come back with the second session on the challenges of the digital transformation, because there's so many and different thoughts on from different industry leaders.
Welcome to the OTech Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Well, good morning. This is Kashif Manzoor, and today we are ready with our next session on digital transformation. This is the journey which we have started 2 months back to learn and share on digital transformation. Before going into our session, Ramadan Kareem to all, Ramadan Mubarak to all Muslims across the world. And today is the 2nd of Ramadan in Dubai. And I just thought to continue our journey of learning with the digital transformation. And before we will go to our topic of today, which is what are the challenges in digital transformation, and which I'm naming as a digital transformation project. And while covering this topic, what I understand that maybe it's not possible to cover all the challenges in one of the session. So what we will try number of points which we gathered today we will be talking on, and then if required we'll come back with the second session on the challenges of the digital transformation, because there's so many and different thoughts on from different industry leaders. Before we start the session, let's recap till now what we have covered. We have covered almost 5 sessions till now, starting from the basics of digital transformation, why it is required, what are the benefits of digital transformation, how do you start a digital transformation, and our previous session was what other organizations are doing to achieve digital transformation. And all these sessions are on podcast available on otechtalks.tv. In the menu under the podcast, you can go and you can find out all these sessions, and they are linked with each other. Let's go back to our topic of today. We're continuing our journey on the digital transformation. And today we will be discussing top challenges that small or large enterprises or organizations born before the digital age, or even within digital age, are facing when we are talking, when they are taking on transformation projects. And first we will take some of the analysis and some of the surveys which I took it from different sources, and I will mention it. And one of the first survey, which is out of 1,000 business decision makers, 98% agree the delivery of digital services and is critical to a successful company. But 95% encounter challenges when trying to do so. This is the core report published by Riverbed in the 2018 with the name of Digital Performance Survey. And what they wrote, that companies or organizations are aware of the increasing importance of a successful digital experience. However, survey respondents reported that this success is measured by improved user experience and satisfaction. That's a 53%. And 49% reported a greater market agility, increased revenue and profitability, again 49%, increased employee productivity, and faster time to market, approximate 48%. So that's how are the measuring factor for achieving digital transformation. And on the other hand, The failure of digital strategies are due to massively inadequate systems. Again, if we'll go back to the survey, 5 most significant barriers when working towards a better digital strategy are: 1. Budget constraints, 51%; overly complex or rigid legacy IT infrastructure, 45% of the respondents answers on that; lack of full visibility across the digital and user experience, 40%; 4. Lack of available or appropriately skilled personnel, 39%; lack of buy-in from leadership on prioritizing digital initiatives, 37%. So these are the summary of number of the challenges which described by based on the survey of the Riverbed, and you will get all the links in the show notes. In another survey sponsored by Jabil, they asked almost 300 technology and business stakeholders working at manufacturing companies of different sizes around the world, and what they categorized into top 5 digital transformation challenges by company size. And they categorize less than one category is less than 100 employees, between 100 and 1000 employees, and then 1000 to 5000 employees, and more than 5000 employees. And they categorized the 5 challenges. If, for example, if we take less than 100 employees, lack of expertise to lead digitization initiatives is 1. 2. 4. Business partners unable to support. 5. Limited budget. But when we'll go to the second category of organizations, where the employees are between 100 and 1000, the number 1 reason is employee pushback. 2 is organizational structure gets in the way. And the last category, 5, is lack of expertise to lead digitization initiatives. And they will move to the third category of organizations, which are between 1000 to 5000 employees. There is overarching strategy of digitization. Number 2 is lack of expertise to lead digitization initiatives. And the 5th is on the limited budget. And when we'll move to the 4th category of more than 5000 employees, the number 1 reason is lack of expertise to lead digitization initiatives. 2, organizational structures gets in the way. 5th is employee pushback. So I will put it in on the show notes on the otechtalks.tv session number 44, I think, on this one, what challenges in the digital transformation, and you can go through in detail. I just took it on and described a summary of some of the findings they have mentioned. And we will continue with some of the other studies, which is done by Wipro Digital in June 2017, that indicates leadership within digital transformation may be in crisis. Half of senior executives surveyed across organizations feel that their company is not successfully executing against 50% of their strategies. The study surveyed 400 senior level US executives about the digital transformation strategies within organization. Nearly 1 in 5 senior executives admit that they secretly believe that digital transformation projects in their company are a waste of time. And these are the challenges from different surveys are being mentioned or floating around while we are implementing, or while a lot of organizations going through the digital transformation journeys. One of the challenge, which is from Rob, a co-founder of Commerce CX, which he named as Blind Challenge. So Rob, co-founder and head of strategy and customer experience at Commerce CX, argues that when people think about a digital transformation, there are 3 common challenges organizations must overcome, which impact the planning and cost of the transformation. The first is starting the digital transformation blindly. So it's a blind challenge. The second is adding unnecessary technology. And the third is believing it is a one and done process. And personally, I like this third point, that it is not at all that, okay, I'm deciding on digital transformation and I'm going to achieve it in next 6 months. In just, it's like one project, one process, and I'm done. So starting blindly will kill the process from the start. The digital transformation process is often overlooked by an eager team looking to improve their business. Organizations must remember to identify where the company currently is in the transformation journey and what is needed before starting. And if you remember, or if you listen our previous podcasts on the digital transformation, where we discussed on the three models, why it is required, and then where to start, even how do you start a digital transformation. So though that is 43 session, gives you all the idea on that what you need to do before starting a digital transformation journey. Now we will move into number of challenges which we put together or curated from different sources, and I will be mentioning all the sources on the show notes. And I will start from the first one, and I'm not numbering these challenges as because these will be increased, or we may need to capture into the second or third session. Till now, whatever I have discovered, so I'm gonna discuss on those one. The number one, which we took it as a digital transformation challenge, is no consensus on what digital transformation mean, or what digital transformation for organization is. And again, we will refer back to Wipro Digital Survey. 35% of executives have mentioned lack of clear business transformation strategy is a key barrier to achieve its full digital potential. The CIO may view digital as a way to drive operational efficiency, while the CMO may see digital as the answer to boosting customer engagement. And we do understand the both are required, and both are basically transformation. So what we need to arrive as an organization, that we should communicate the vision of business transformation as an organization, and then stick with it and get people to buy into it. The clear communication first is relentlessly what is the vision for our business transformation is, and then we need to pass back to the lowest rank in the organization, so that everyone is very clear on it. I will give you an example on it. There is a paperless strategy is announced in Dubai from the government, and wherever you go in the public sector, you will see that is the target which is put forward for each and every public sector, to make sure that government of Dubai will go paperless in 2021. So that's the clear message, clear vision from top to down, and each and everyone is working on it. And as an individual from outside, I can see how the vision is set, and then how it is being communicated to each and every person, either even citizen who is living in this part of the world. Number two, let's move on to the challenges on the digital transformation. Number two, which we put forward, is no CEO sponsorship or the leadership sponsorship. I will link back to the paperless government, where who is sponsoring it. Excessive caution and fear of the unknown haunts some CEOs, according to research Digital McKinsey released in 2017. And what is it? A CEO guide for avoiding the 10 traps that derail digital transformations. And if we will go in more detail to this study, what McKinsey has mentioned that companies need to make more risk, not less. Many senior executives look back on their transformation programs and wish they would have been bolder. In today's environment, making incremental changes is like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. And I like this statement. Let's repeat it. In today's environment, making incremental changes is like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. So we are also getting the same story situation from the data. It is almost relating to McKinsey's research that companies that do best follow bold and disruptive strategies. They make big bets on new technologies and business models. They champion a test and learn culture where they have failure and an opportunity. So they treat basically failure as an opportunity to improve and launch to change programs, business models, and transform their whole business. How quickly you fail and learn. That's the shortest summary of this one. That's why you need sponsorship from executives from the top to bottom. So that way you got an environment where you can test and learn and then improve from that testing and learning. Now let's move to our third challenge on the digital transformation projects is lack of focus. And in this, we will again refer to McKinsey's note survey that lot of organizations rush to adopt the let 100 flowers bloom philosophy for experimentation, focusing on too many things because there's no clear vision that what they're going to achieve it. That's why let 100 flowers bloom that follow a lot of projects, lot of initiatives, and then you will stuck into number of and you will not reach anywhere. That's why our point 1, point 2 was on the CEO sponsorship, and then even CEO sponsorship with clear focus is a must to drive outcome from a digital transformation initiatives. That's our third challenge, lack of focus. And if we continue on this one, another important factor is to focus on the right kind of initiatives. Sometime or quite often, business allocate resources into programs or initiatives that produce short-term gains but can't be scaled, they are not sustainable, and even they don't add value. To avoid this wasted energy, any digital transformation should start with understanding customer needs and build out solutions that not only address them but have the potential to generate the business impact. That's why we need to go why digital transformation is required in the session 41, and then what are the benefits. So that will give us the answers to these challenges. So that's relate to help us that how we will be focusing on our digital transformation agendas. The number challenge which we put forward, put together, is resistance to change. The change that's very famous, everybody knows about it. People, including you and myself, build their careers in power if you have due to your professional role and whatever you know earned over the years, and it is very very difficult to let go due to any transformation program. Percent of 4,500 CIOs surveyed for the 2017 Harvey Nash KPMG CIO survey cited resistance to change as the top impediment to a successful digital strategy. Beyond planning the roadmap and implementing the technology, CEOs need to think seriously about the human side of transformation. A change management program focused on tackling the human barriers to change needs to be run in parallel to any digital transformation program. What we observed and even witnessing different regions, different organizations, whatever organization that is able to change both their technology and their employees' mindsets are benefiting the most from the digital transformation, and even they will be end up with an innovative organization. And maybe for that we need to use the process definition, what we called as on change management, the process, tools and techniques to manage the people side of change to achieve a required business outcome. And I like this definition, the people side of change. And if we will conclude our point on how to manage change is with the report from McKinsey that most change management efforts fail because outdated models and change techniques are fundamentally misaligned with today's dynamic business environment. Even we need to work on the change management strategies which we are using in organization to get ready for digital transformation. And if I will, I think, refer to this change management efforts fail, a new strategy we need to bring into practice so that we can achieve our objective as an organization on the digital. Our number 5 challenge of the digital transformation projects, lack of pace. And only 4% of respondents to Wipro Digital Survey said they realized half of their digital investment in under 1 year, with the majority of respondents saying it has taken their company 2 to 3 years to see at least half of these investments come to fulfillment. And another survey from MIT Sloan, Embracing Digital Technology, 63% said the pace of technology change in their organization is too slow. It's mean digital rewards first movers and some super fast followers. In the digital age, during uncertain times, companies were having a strategy to wait and see and let others incur the cost of experimentation, and then we will cope with this and we will, even we will outperform our competition. But in the digital age, this is not the case. So lack of pace is one of the challenges on the digital transformation. Conclusion on this one is the first movers and very fast followers gain a huge advantage over their competitors. Who is the first one to achieve? Who is the first one to follow even whoever has done it? Because they test and learn. They launch early prototypes and refine results in a real time. They will cut down the development time in a number of areas from several months to a few days. And that will result them even pushing ahead whatever business model, strategy, or even product they're launching from version 1 to even version 3, 4, or 5, even before their followers or their competitions have launched their like a Me Too version. That I'm also doing this one. This is what it is outlined in McKinsey's report, Why Digital Strategies Fail. So digital rewards first movers and some super fast followers. That's the learning of from the lack of. Next point is on the talent gap. Digital transformation require new talent and a digital mind. This means that everyone need to become Uber, Apple, or Airbnb. However, a digital mindset requires fundamental changes in leadership and talent attributes, leadership styles and talent attributes. The report published by Capgemini and LinkedIn, the Digital Talent Gap, every second organization they surveyed acknowledged that the digital gap is widening. Over half, 54% of the organizations agreed that the digital talent gap is hampering their digital transformation programs and that their organization has lost competitive advantage because of a shortage of digital talent. The talent gap in soft digital skills is more pronounced than in hard digital skills. More employees, 59%, say that their organization lacks employees who possess soft digital skills than hard digital skills. That's 51%. The two soft digital skills in most demand are customer centricity and passion for learning, and the two hard digital skills in most demand are cybersecurity and cloud computing. This is based on the Capgemini and LinkedIn, the Digital Talent Gap survey, or a report published by them. And we will further go into the situation of talent from talent gap point of view. Another report, according to Gartner 2018 Shifting Skills Survey, they have asked over 7,000 employees to self-assess their level of proficiency in in-demand skills. And 70% said they haven't mastered the skills they need for their jobs today. 80% said they lack both the skills they need both for their current role and their future. Another survey, research from the UK government, uncovered that 12.6 million people in the UK don't have basic digital skills. This is one of the major and very important challenge on how to meet the digital talent gap, how to overcome this one, to achieve in any organization the digital transformation ambitious program. Lack of continuity is our next challenge on the digital transformation, which we'll discuss. When we say lack of continuity, a number of times in around you and in your organization, you must have heard that CIO discussing any initiative on the digital transformation, and what will happen even the initiative is just started, and overnight, or what you will see on the LinkedIn profile, that will from global CIO of X to it will maybe shows you to CDO of Y, or even worse, looking for my next opportunity. So that corresponds to lack of continuity. You can link this situation to whatsoever reasons, but organizations need continuity with the leadership to achieve real fruit of digital transformation. Leading a digital transformation starts with understanding your people. That's the core of digital transformation. You have to tailor your leaders and leadership style based on the people you're working with. Someone is there with maybe over 25 years of experience. He requires a different approach than someone who is a digital native. And I think we need to have empathy and a level of emotional intelligence to understand that this is a fundamental shift in the way we do things, we operate, we live, how we will work in the organization, how we are working. A whole business transformation can't be done within a quarter or 6 months. Persistence and strong leadership are required. This will enable us to cover lack of continuity, one of the challenge on the digital transformation. Now there are so many other challenges on in our list, which is inflexible technology stack, development processes, stick to legacy business model. What I'm thinking is that we will stop here in this session, and then we will continue on the challenges in our next session, on the part 2 of this one. And thank you so much for listening, and please keep sharing your feedback on the social channels, or even on this podcast on otechtalks.tv, available under the podcast menu. Thank you so much, and have a blessed life, and look forward to talk to you during the next session on the challenges of.
Thanks for listening to the OTech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.